Hotel family, peace and blessings. I greet you with godly ancestors and whose footsteps I most humbly walk. His brother Ed Emoja for the Patois International Film Festival in UCCI, based here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. One thing we do here at UCCI is that we find people doing positive things in our global community, and we network with them. And one of these people, one of these sisters who's doing some wonderful work, and we have known her for several years, doing Sisters in Harmony, and now with UCCI Piff. His sister Nurse Imani. Nurse Imani is based in the Maryland, D.C. area. We're gonna be doing some small little videos with her, information for the global community, things for you to think about, help you take better care of yourself. Talking to your health practitioner, some questions you would ask them. Sometimes we don't know what questions to ask our doctor when we go into the office, right? So Sister Nurse Imani is going to be giving us some information. Like I said, she's a nurse, a registered nurse based in the D.C., Maryland area, and we're happy to have her start this new Imani's Health with Nurse Imani with us. So check this out, the very first one, family. God bless.
Hello, I am Nurse Imani. Thank you for joining me today. I want to let you know that I'm a registered nurse for the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area. Although nursing is my career, education is my passion. I would like to educate, empower, and inform you of how to take care of your heart every day of the year, and just a few tips to go along the way. As a disclaimer, please contact your medical provider if you do have any heart conditions or any heart concerns or any symptoms. It's important that you check yourself and make sure that the doctor is aware of any problems that you know that you may have. So know your body and know your symptoms. My slides are from the American Heart Association, and I have a few things to show you just as some tips to go along the way to give you some information on keeping your heart healthy. We know that heart disease is the #1 killer, especially in African-American women, but it's 85% preventable. So we have to know that there are some things that we can do to really manage our heart and keep it as healthy as possible. So join me. I have a few slides that can show you a few things and a few tips to manage your heart and let's stay healthy going forward. Although we're all in COVID right now, COVID has not taken a break from heart disease. It does affect our heart very seriously. So it's very important that we have the information and the keys that we know we need to manage our heart sufficiently. So join me. I have a few slides to show you that we can now manage our heart. So what I would like to show you is just a couple of tips that we can go through. But first, what is high blood pressure? High blood pressure is the increased pressure of the arteries carrying blood away from the heart. So we definitely want to know that our blood pressure does affect our heart. And if we can keep our blood pressure in good control, we can better manage our heart disease and keep our heart in good control. Very serious conditions can come from high blood pressure, stroke, heart disease, vision loss, even kidney disease can be affected by high blood pressure. So managing it and knowing what our blood pressure is can be very beneficial. If not, increased high blood pressure can affect us in high hospitalization and life-threatening problems. But what causes high blood pressure? So the most common source of sodium is salt. People get most of the salt from their diet, generally from canned, prepared, and packaged foods. Even fast foods and restaurant meals are very high in sodium. So we definitely have to watch the foods that we're even ordering outside of the home. But knowing our numbers is the best key to understanding how well we're doing regarding our heart. So a normal blood pressure is 120, which is that top number, the systolic, over 80, which is that bottom number. And that keeps our heart pumping efficiently. But don't fret. If you know that your blood pressure has been in a higher range in one of these other areas, it's okay. The best thing is to know where you start and then move slowly down as we can continue to manage and monitor your blood pressure. Another contributing factor is the sodium and the amount of salt we're taking each day. So sodium actually we have a certain amount of sodium that we can take in our daily count each day, which is 2,000 milligrams. That's only about a teaspoon of salt. So a little dash will do you is key. We definitely want to make sure that we are not putting too much salt in our diet or in our meals, because that can affect our blood pressure. Also, we do have to count for all the salt that is actually in each meal throughout the day. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner still counts. So we definitely have to make sure that we are monitoring the amount of salt that we're either adding to our meals or that's in our packaged foods, so we understand that we are within that 2,000 milligrams of salt. But I want us to understand that African-American women are particularly vulnerable to high blood pressure and heart disease. Even though we may feel that we're doing fine and don't have any problems, that may not always be the case. So it's always good for us to regularly check our blood pressure, understand where our numbers are, and then know where we can go from there. Also, according to the American Heart Association, researchers have found that there may be a gene that makes African Americans more sensitive to the effect of salt. So that means that salt can affect us a lot more sufficiently than any counterparts. So we need to make sure that as a community that we are monitoring the amount of salt that we're adding to our diet or putting into our meals, because it can actually be more, we can be more sensitive and raise our blood pressure even higher if we're not aware of the amount of salt we're putting in to our daily meals. African-American population also tends to have higher rates of obesity and diabetes. So that also puts us at a greater risk of having high blood pressure and heart disease. But with heart disease, we also may have symptoms. And this is a chart to just show you that some men versus women may have some symptoms that may be a little different. So for men, generally it's the nausea, vomiting, the crushing chest pain, shortness of breath. But for women, we have to realize that we may not get those subtle or those real obvious symptoms, and our symptoms may be more subtle. So we may have some indigestion, some fainting, extreme fatigue, even some upper abdominal discomfort. Not saying that it's all meaning a heart attack, but we do have to know what our symptoms are. And also recognize if we are having these particular symptoms for a long period of time, then we may need to get checked out a little earlier. The best way though is to know how to prevent heart disease and to better manage our heart. So of course, it starts with good nutrition. That means low salt, not adding too much salt to our diet, but we can add other things that's gonna actually keep our food tasting very well and having good flavor without the salt. So onions and peppers and herbs also can add value flavor to our foods without the salt and without increasing our blood pressure. Also, understanding that more fresh and frozen foods will be more ideal. So not using canned foods, and also watching those packaged foods can actually help towards keeping our blood pressure in good control and also help our heart. Another thing will be also exercise. Getting exercise, staying active, and even having a weight loss plan, that's going to be ideal for managing our heart and keeping our heart healthy. Remember, our heart is a muscle, so it needs to be have that extra circulation and that exercise throughout the day. Especially with COVID, a lot of us has been sitting a lot more longer, more sedentary. So during those times, we do have to remember to get up, move around, take a walk, take some breaks, and get about and move about a little bit more. Our heart wants it. Also, if we want to do a weight loss plan, why not do that and start with about 1 pound a week? A lot of times we have a weight loss plan that is too high to reach. So let's make it more realistic and more obtainable. So instead of 50 pounds during the week to be for weight loss, how about we just try to lose 1 pound a week? If we can lose that 1 pound, we can lose the 2 and 3 and go from there. But we also always want to start at a good number that we can actually achieve and feel good about. Then we can always increase as time goes on. Here's a slide that I want to show you that gives you a few foods that you should avoid. Avoiding smoked, cured, salted, or canned meat, chicken, or meat, fish, and poultry is very ideal to not have that in our meals or in our diet. Also, certain cheeses and regular peanut butter can also be contributing factor to our salt. So we definitely want to watch that as well. And of course, my favorite, but we have to limit the salted snacks such as pretzels, chips, popcorn. It adds the sodium into our diet that we really don't need. So I always say, if we're gonna have a snack, try to take your serving amount, put it into a bowl, wrap up the rest of the bag and put the bag away. Enjoy your serving that you have in your bowl. We tend to eat and snack, and a lot of times if we eat out the bag, we can actually eat the whole bag. I know I can. So why not pour out what we want to have, just the right serving size, put the rest away, and then we can save it for another day. But if we overeat or eat too much of these salted snacks, it can elevate our blood pressure. Also, watch your frozen prepared meals. They also have salt to preserve it, and it does contribute to our daily count of sodium. On the other side is some food items that actually have some ranges of sodium also that we may not realize. So deli meat can actually contribute to salt intake, as well as pizza or even a can of soup. So having soup or even a cheeseburger and adding certain amounts of food throughout our day for our meals can actually raise our blood pressure or actually increase our sodium amount for the day. And keep in mind, we only need about a teaspoon a day. So some of these items can actually add up to more than 2,000 milligrams for that daily serving. So we have to monitor the amount that we're having, more fruits and vegetables throughout our day. And actually turn the bags over on certain packaged foods and see how much of sodium is actually in those items. And then who says that salt is the only thing that actually increases your sodium? Stress can also increase your sodium and elevate your blood pressure. And how many of us have not been stressed in the last year? So right now, we do need to identify that, yes, stress can elevate our blood pressure, and how do we manage it? So really doing stress activities, stress reducing activities like reading, walking, doing yoga, meditating, even art, or just something that you like that is fun, that takes your mind and stress away of the ordinary things. Because we do understand that life does happen and we have to recognize when we are stressed. Also, if we are in that moment, let's just walk away. Why not just take 3 slow, deep breaths when we're feeling stressed and we're feeling that tension rise? How about you do it with me? So let's take 3 slow, deep breaths together. Okay? We're gonna breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. 1. 2. 3. Taking 3 slow, deep breaths does help alleviate a lot of the tension and increases our blood volume and help with our blood pressure, especially on the times when we're most tense and we are feeling the stress. Also turning on some chill and inspirational music, also positive self-talk. How many times have we always been at that point where we had that negative talk? I can't do it, or it's not working and it's not gonna happen. But if we can do positive talk, like, you know what, I can achieve this, I can learn this, this is gonna be obtainable for me, I can do it, will help us decrease any stress and tension that we may actually have. And of course, most importantly, we do need sleep. How many of us have actually realized that we are not really getting 7 to 9 hours of really good sleep? You may be in the bed that long, but are you really sleeping? So if you're actually realize that you're having trouble sleeping, staying asleep, falling asleep, contact your medical provider. that also can contribute to you not getting enough sleep, but also elevating your blood pressure, and then the stress, and it does affect your body overall. So getting proper sleep is also very important, not even just for babies, but it's for us too as adults. So what I want us to remember is that we do need to be good to our heart. Eat fresh and colorful foods. In the picture, you see great food items like your salmon, omega-3s with the avocado, walnuts, almonds, blueberries. You can do just fruits and vegetables, but really want to make sure that you hone in on just getting different colors into your foods, into your meals, so that you know that you're getting the best options, the best vitamins and minerals that's going to help your heart. Also, invite a friend or join friends who are walking and doing different activities. And also, it's always good to try new and healthy recipes. Why not try a new recipe once a week? Because each recipe may actually be something that you like that can contribute to helping you decrease your blood pressure and really increase your heart from having any problems and keeping it healthy. Why not do that? Also, we have to be patient with our progress. Patient and consistency is going to go a long way, and we can do it. We do know that our heart beats for us every second of every day. So why not take the time to do what we can to keep our heart at its best? My last slide is about powering up and moving more. We definitely want to stay hydrated. We want to fight that fatigue, and we want to refresh. And we also want to remember to breathe. With COVID, we now realize how important it is to stay healthy, to keep our breath and our just breathing is now so essential. But our heart needs that great oxygen. So when you're able to, you can exercise at home, you can exercise, away from other people, 6 feet away, and really take some good deep breaths at the times when you really need it the most. So during exercise or during just those stressful moments. But eating healthy is gonna go a long way, and definitely stay consistent. Plenty of water also is gonna be ideal. So the best thing that we want us to remember is exercise is going to be key to keeping our heart healthy, decreasing our sodium intake. Even smoking can be a factor. So please, if you're smoking, please decrease or cut back on smoking, because that also raises your blood pressure. And also, if you have symptoms, get the attention that you need. Seek out the medical professionals and let them know what symptoms you may have. And write them down as far as when it started, because you may realize it's going on longer than you really think. But we definitely want to realize that heart disease is preventable, and we want to make sure that we're taking the best care of our heart each and every day. So thank you for joining me. I'm Imani, Nurse Imani, and you're joining me on Imani Health Links. But if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to put them in my email, send me a chat. If you have any topics that you want to know about or any information that you would like to learn about, definitely shoot me an email. I hope that you're doing well, and take care and be safe.